Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's first video in the 5-day forecast. Today's first video. Later on, we'll extend beyond the 5-day forecast period and have a look at the weather going out to 10 days. So let's deal with the first sort of day 1 through to day 5, then we'll do over day 5 through to day 10. In the second video today. This evening we might have a look at the GFS ensembles, see what they're showing going out into the middle part of January. That's if I've got time to get that done for you this evening. But starting off a 5-day forecast anyway today. So before I get on with that, just say about the ads. This articles on all pages. Have a browse, visit some click links. If there's any articles that are interesting, you help us pay for our website. Thanks very much for doing that. The websites we're using for the 5-day forecast going from theweatherout.com and weathercentre.de. Find links to both those websites on the links page. So most parts of Northern Europe at the moment are being engulfed by a big freeze. That's going to extend into Central Europe over the next 24 hours. We're just going to get into that cold air. Tonight and tomorrow will be quite cold, but then by Friday it's gone. It's moving away into Eastern and Southeastern Europe, and varying freely as we go through to the second half week and into the weekend, by which time we will be in a mild Atlantic flow. But we will, just a few hours tonight and tomorrow, feel the very edges of this big cold plunge. But actually, the next 5-day forecast period looks pretty mild, to be honest. So let's get on with the details. Start off with the radar picture. And we've got some showery rain down across the southeast of the country right now. That's mostly light, but there's 1 or 2 heavier bursts mixed in around those southeastern coasts. Then a lot of dry weather, really, until we run into these showers running down the east coast, from eastern Scotland down into northeastern England. They'll turn increasingly wintry this afternoon as the cold air digs in, and there could be a few accumulations of snow actually across the higher ground of eastern Scotland by this evening. So here's the stochastic pressure chart today. Look how close we are to really locking into a very cold pattern. We've got high pressure through the country. It's trying to ridge up to Scandinavia, where there's an extremely cold pool of air sitting across Scandinavia and Northern Europe. It's so close, this, to producing a severe freeze. Probably the closest we've come for quite a few years to getting a severe cold spell. You can see why the models last week were sort of going with the idea that we might get this in place, because it is a very, very close run thing, and even the UK Met Office last week was taking the chance of a freeze quite seriously. But just isn't going to quite come up, and it's such a close thing that it very easily could have done. But anyway, the high pressure is through the country today. We're bringing down these cold northerly winds across the country. So for the rest of today, we're going to find increasing amounts of sunshine. Quite cloudy at the moment across many places, but we'll find increasing amounts of sunshine moving down from the north into this afternoon. I think most of us will end up with decent sunny spells, but with those sunny spells coming colder air. So the showers that are running down those eastern coasts of East Scotland, North East England will turn increasingly wintry through the course of this afternoon. And by tonight, they could well be producing enough snow for accumulations of snow over the highest ground of eastern Scotland. Temperatures today somewhere between around, say, 3 and 8 Celsius. The coldest areas in the north, and the mildest is down in the south. So overnight tonight, there's that high pressure trying to get into Scandinavia, trying to turn the winds round into the east. We have got cold air across the country. If I show you the upper air temperatures, you can see that the cold air on the edges of this big freeze is into the UK. Look how cold it is from those northern and central parts of Europe. Really severely cold across Scandinavia and go down into Central Europe tonight. So it means that for us, we're going to continue to have a few wintry showers peppering the east coast, probably turning more towards snow flows, if anything. Elsewhere, though, lots of dry weather. And the main night is going to be very cold night with widespread frost. The skies are going to clear and temperatures are going to drop like a stone. I think it could go down to as -5 across some parts of England, Wales, and possibly parts of central Scotland going as low as -8 degrees. So quite a severe frost actually up in the north, and just goes to show you what could have been if things had set up ever so slightly differently. So tomorrow that high pressure is dominating the weather, but it's already starting to come under pressure by the Atlantic. It's beginning to push that high pressure southwards and eastwards. We'll start off with a widespread frost across many parts of the country, hard frost and locally severe in rural areas as well. England and Wales will have a good deal of sunshine, it'll be a nice day, but Scotland and Northern Ireland will see the wind freshening through the afternoon and clouds will thicken, probably staying dry for most places except maybe the Outer Hebrides. Temperatures tomorrow will be cold, just 2 or 3 degrees at best, despite the sunshine in the south, although eventually western Scotland will see the temperatures lifting up to around 8 Celsius as those southwesterly winds begin to pick up. Again, there's the upper air temperature showing how severely cold it's going to be across the vast majority of Europe, really into the deep freeze. But look, there's the milder air starting to waft in from off the Atlantic in towards Ireland and western Scotland. By the time we get through to Friday, that high pressure is collapsing down into Central Europe, and that's pushing the coldest of the air through to the east and the southeast of Europe, and the land means milder westerly, southwesterly winds coming around the top. There's also a weather system moving in from off the Atlantic. So although central southern parts of England, Wales may start off dry on Friday morning, we'll have wet and windy weather in the north, and that's going to spread southeastwards through the day. So I think most places will see cloud outbreaks of rain extending down across the country. The far southeast could stay dry, but many places will have outbreaks of rain on Friday, with brighter skies and showers following along behind. Temperatures in the east still quite chilly at around 5 or 6 degrees, but in the west it will be turning much milder, with temperatures there of around 9 or 10 Celsius by the end of Friday. Showing you upper air temperatures, there's the severely cold air pushing down towards the southeast of Europe, and we are being bathed in those milder yellow colours by then, showing that the mild air is advancing in from off the Atlantic. Into the weekend, high pressure is going to be very close to the country, so not a huge amount going on. Saturday will start off with a lot of cloud, maybe damp conditions in the south and west. I think we'll keep a fair amount of cloud going across the country, but there could be some brighter sunny spells coming through. Later on, we'll probably turn wet and windy in the far north and west of Scotland. Any sunshine is likely, or more likely, to be in the east and south on Saturday. Temperatures will be mild, even very mild, going to around 10, 11, 12 degrees quite widely across the country. Maybe a little taste of spring, really, in the air on Saturday. Another weather system comes through the country on Saturday night, bringing showery rain to England and Wales, and probably quite wet and windy weather in towards Scotland. So we start off sunny, fairly damp and cloudy, but again, the high pressure is very close to the country, so I would expect there's a lot of dry weather on offer on Sunday. It looks like a very useful weekend, really. If you want to get out and about and perhaps get into the garden or go for a walk, it's going to be decent, really, for the time of year, with mild temperatures and a lot of dry weather as well. I'd say there will be showery rain to begin with on Sunday, but I think many places will actually have a dry day. Quite a lot of cloud, but a few sunny spells coming through as well. Temperatures in the north a little bit cooler, around 7 or 8 degrees. Nothing to get excited about, but a little cooler in the north, but still very mild in the south at around 10 or 11. And then we go through into Monday, the end of 5-day forecast period, where we bring quite an active weather system into the north. That's going to bring gale force winds into Scotland on Monday. Also some colder air coming through there as well. So a band of wet and windy weather will sweep across the country, I think, during the course of Monday. That could bring some quite heavy rain, even into the far south and southeast by the end of Monday afternoon, with brighter skies and colder temperatures following from the northwest. Showers could turn wintry across the northern parts of Scotland. Big range of temperatures, so 3 degrees at best for the north of Scotland to around 11 degrees, 52 Fahrenheit, down on the south coast. Again, quite a spring-like feel for southern parts of the country. So finally, just have a look at charts on weather outlook. Loads of dry weather coming today. There will be those wintry showers running down the eastern coast, but I think the bulk of the country will be dry. After a lot of cloud this morning, probably morning grey sunshine coming through this afternoon. Thursday starts off with quite a severe frost in some places, but there'll be good sunny spells coming through as well. Later on, it'll turn cloudier and windier and milder in the far west of Scotland and through Ireland as well. That brings a band of cloud and rain down across the country on Friday, with much milder air coming in with that rain as well, and that sets us up for really what could be a very mild and spring-like weekend. Saturday looks fairly cloudy, but there will be a few sunny spells, the best of those in the east. A few damp patches around, especially in the morning. Probably band of rain coming through on Saturday night. Sunday again, looking mostly dry. This suggesting quite a lot of sunshine. I suspect cloud will be more problematical than this suggests. And again, those temperatures will be very mild with a touch of spring in the air. And then we finish up on Monday, probably turning wet and windy in the north. That band of rain spreading southwards through the day as colder air begins to dig back in to the far north Scotland. Expect gales in the north of Scotland on Monday afternoon. So in summary, well, we're just on the periphery of the big freeze right now. We are going to have a colder night tonight with a hard frost and then quite a cold day coming up tomorrow. But after that, it's the Atlantic that's dominating, so temperatures will lift up. Band of rain comes through on Friday. I mean, a mild or even very mild weekend with a touch of spring in the air. Next week, the early part of next week, probably turns wet and windy again. And that's it. So that's Friday forecast. And later on this afternoon, we'll have a look at the weather going out to day 10. So come back for that. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching.